Storybook Brawl was nice enough to send me some dust codes, so I'm doing another giveaway. Stick around to the end of the video to find out how you can enter to win.
What is up, everybody? I'm NoLexGiven, and today we are going to be taking a look at a game of Storybook Brawl where the whole lobby is high rolling in this one, and that is also going to include me, obviously, as we start off picking up a blind mouse on the Fates. Grabbing that tier 4 treasure early is going to be really strong, but I'm not the only strong player in this lobby. We're going to see Tough Luck is in this lobby, somebody along with myself that is on the Storybook Brawl 99 leaderboard for highest number of Super Crowns, and this game is kind of going to feel like a Storybook Brawl 99 lobby, and maybe it's just the caliber of the player. Maybe Storybook Brawl 99 is better preparing everybody to high roll. Obviously, I just got a little bit lucky finding these blind mice in the opening shop, and now we get to pick up a tier 4 treasure on turn 3, and it's a pretty good one. There's actually some other options here with the shrink spell in this one. We could potentially do something because we've got a princess and a prince, and I think what I go with here is I buy the princess and then sell it off so that I can just pick up a 5/5 and add that to my board, make ourselves a little bit stronger. And then I think Fool's Gold is one of the best early treasures that you can pick up on. And I'm going to wind up locking the shop here. We've got Egg, plus we've got a Wizard's Familiar. I probably should have just cycled through the Wizard's Familiar rather than trying to lock onto it, but it's still going to give us a lot of power for future turns here. The important thing being that I knew I would have 4 extra gold this turn, so we can pick up both of these units and then still have 7 gold, which is enough to roll and then pick up 2 3-cost units. Now, fortunately, there were no 3-cost units in that shop, so I'm going to wind up just rolling one more time before picking up a Vampire and a Goat. And I'll probably want to get rid of this Wizard's Familiar here, considering I've got the Fool's Gold, but off to a really, really good start. And yeah, I'm not sure if like Storybook Brawl 99 in a way is potentially raising the caliber of non-99 lobbies. There's definitely a potential for it. I always feel like lobbies go a little bit wilder right before a new patch drops, which, by the way, this video and then tomorrow's video are going to be on the previous patch, and then assumedly all videos after that will be on the next patch. Might do something, might have a silly upload at some point this week, like on Thursday or something, that was technically recorded on the last patch, though isn't super relevant which patch it was put on. And then here I am going to just play into Water Wraith a little bit more and also pick up a Brave Princess. We definitely have some options here with this shop, with just the fact that we've got the Fool's Gold allowing us to purchase so many things per turn. And going to try to play around with a few different things, try to find some power spike. The only thing that we can't find is XP. We're going to basically be XP-less this whole game. So that does lend some different options just in terms of what you're actually allowed to high roll into. But this turn we've got 12 gold, so who needs XP? We've got all of the gold in the world. And you know what? Maybe we could find some XP. Maybe we could pick up Skip's Puzzle Rune and actually find some XP that way. Going to be able to triple these golden chickens. That's pretty sweet. Even though I don't love any of these treasures, I'm going to take one of them, either the Crown of Atlas or the Monster Manual, just so that we can activate that Skip's Puzzle Rune. Crown really just going to work with the Peep Sheep. Monster Manual works with both Vampire and the Water Wraith, as well as things that we could find when we hit level 4. So it is a little bit of a tough call, but ultimately I'm just going to pick the one that contributes more stats to the overall board, giving us +1/+1 on the blind mouse and the frog, and then to each of the sheep. So I think that this is plenty powerful enough, and I'm feeling good about it. Water Wraith going to actually be pretty lucky for us in this game, and wind up getting a bunch of triggers on almost all of our combats, and then the Vampire also slaying. So everything going pretty well here. I'm going to pick up another chicken. Golden chicken is really, really good when you have fool's gold, specifically because it is tough to find something to do with all of that gold when you can't cast XP spells. So I pick up a vulture just to get a little bit more strength on the current board. I think that that seems smart, and I should probably stop trying to make Brave Princess work. I should just abandon that. And then from here, there's a few different options that I like, but I'm really trying to just pick up any pairs that I can find, so that way we can activate this puzzle rune and mess around with some different orders of things. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll drop the Vampire and play like this, which seems like a good way to order my units. One, because I want to play as many animals as possible, and then two, I want things to die for Water Wraith. And you can see the combat here works out very silly with the baby dragon attacking my Princess Peep, but very, very well for us, as Water Wraith is going to see so much stuff die. That's also going to mean that we have absolutely huge vultures this turn, and are able to survive with 34 health going on to 5.0. That's what I meant to say. And here, I think Crystal Ball is a good pickup because I'm about to triple another 3-cost unit and potentially find Hat. A little bit tricky there to justify the pickup of the Crystal Ball when we've got Fool's Gold, but we know that we can replace the Fool's Gold in a second. And we're also going to be level 5, which means we could find Aeon. That all happened a little bit fast for me to do the commentary on it, but that's definitely something that I'm considering with Puzzle Rune, especially, is that and I did this in a previous video. I think it was my video of like Tuesday last week, potentially. But I took a Skips Puzzle Rune on Wonder Waddle and took the Crystal Ball, because then I was level 5 and could look for Aeon on that turn. So I think that that is something that can definitely come up and be pretty sweet for you. But 10 damage to Skip, and up on XP compared to Skip as well, because we also cast at the end last turn. I'll pick up a Baba Yaga. That is a great mage to support the Aeon. Then I'll pick up another Aeon. That just seems like a great card in general. I think am I planning on selling 2 things? No, okay. I was like, am I selling 2 things to pick up the Happy Little Tree here? That's a little silly. And then I'm gonna roll the die, pick up this Cupid, accidentally hit my hero and open up the emote screen, and lock onto another Aeon in the shop. And from this point, feeling pretty good. We can potentially drop the Hat eventually. Probably not next turn. We probably drop the Crown next turn in order to, or when we triple the Aeon. We're not really using the Crown. It's definitely giving us something, but not that much, all things considered. But gonna pick up the Aeon, and then we'll just look for a few more mages. We will be level 6 next turn, and it's kind of funny, we skipped all of like the early game crystal balling, so we actually don't have that much scaling. We don't have that much stats on the board, but we have enough stats. We're going to be able to take out this Galahad, and we'll be pretty good. And now we're level 6. So we'll get to pick up another treasure here, and I'm going to go for Evil Eye. This will make our spells really, really cheap next turn. If we are able to slay with Aeon, then that'll slay again, and then it'll slay again because of the Evil Eye, and then we also have the Hat. So our spells will cost 8 less next turn if we are able to get the slay. And you can see we have not cast too many spells just yet. We've got the Scion of the Storm just as a 2020. So we're just kind of getting started as far as mage things are concerned. But we can definitely put something strong together here. And our spells will just be super, super cheap going forward. So I think we can make all of this work out and look pretty nicely. I'm just debating, like, is Cupid potentially better than one of these vultures? And I think it is. Despite having all of these animals in the front line, we don't actually have that much in the way of animals. So yeah, could just be worth it. And we are going to get the slay with Aeon, so that's nice. We could potentially not pick up the Scion of the Storm, but it was good locking onto in case we didn't slay with Aeon somehow. And then we had kind of like a backup plan. But now I definitely want Scion, so going to look to pick that up here, and then let's cast some spells. Don't know which of these royals I'm more likely to keep. I'm thinking I'll probably just keep the bigger one. So I throw the Queen's Grace on that, or Queen's Grace, Queen's Blessing, I'm not sure. But yeah, just gonna throw some spells on that for now, and then another Baba Yaga is just a little bit too expensive. I'm not sure if that is exactly what I'm looking for, so I'm gonna skip that, and I'll pick up a Spellweaver, and then just cast a Shrivel to end the turn. Not too much going on here, but I think that this is still enough stats, considering it is still pretty early in this game. You have to remember we're 3 XP up on the lobby, so this is assumedly like 5.1 right now. We'll have to see up against the Sphinx. Sphinx is slightly incentivized to pick up some XP, but I think that we're still gonna, 5.1. So still 2 XP up on most of this lobby here, and feeling quite good indeed. So Water Wraith is also still bringing the stats. Eventually we will want to cut that, but for right now, it's doing fine for us. And then we've got the Cupid holding it down a little bit, and we can finish things off with the pumped up Baba Yaga. And now we are on to the top 5, and this game is going pretty quickly, but like I said, we're not the only high roller in this lobby, so it's definitely going to take a little bit more to bring this lobby down, and we'll see what we can make happen. Our spells only costing 2 less this turn. We did not get the Slay from Aeon, so that part's unfortunate, but that just means we gotta make Aeon a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna cast some more spells on Aeon this turn and see what we can do, and hopefully we can get the Slay up against the Ghost. We should be able to, but that would be really nice for us as well. And then not really looking for, I mean, I'd like a few more mages potentially, but we're doing okay right now, I think, just in terms of like overall stats. And here I lock onto a Knighthood because I'm expecting Aeon to slay, and when it does, like I said, my spells will cost 8 less. So a Knighthood for 4, that's pretty good. And if you want to make use of your spells costing 8 less, well then you gotta find some spells that are actually going to cost you anything. So we're going to lock onto that, and that's going to go onto the Scion of the Storm, I believe, to make that super cheap. And oh, did it? It didn't slay again, did it? Either I did the math wrong or it slayed again. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I must have slayed again, and I wasn't paying attention there. But either way, now we can support it with a buffed up Baba Yaga, or an upgraded Baba Yaga rather, so that's really sweet. And then I roll into 2 more Scions of the Storm. So I'm going to put my upgraded Scion of the Storm into a Croc, and then pick up 2 more. And all of a sudden, it looks like we found ourselves a little bit of a mage comp. We're going to roll some Hermes Magic Beans so that we have first attack here with our Aeon. That'll definitely keep us slaying into future turns, but now we are quite big, and we're also building towards some potential better treasures in the end game. So that's really sweet too, that we could potentially find, like Mimic Chest, 9th Book of Merlin, Wand of Weirding. All of those are really, really fantastic treasures, but you can see the Tough Luck here has found some fantastic treasures of their own. Hat Ball plus the Potion Master's Cookbook. It's going to give them quite a board here, and then they found an upgraded Bearstain and upgraded Gumblegore. That's going to give them some pretty strong units and make this a really close combat, but one that they are able to win with a ranged unit. So never count this lobby out. These opponents are going to be quite strong indeed, and now we can find a triple not only through the Scions of the Storm, but also from the Croc spell, which I think is actually just a more consistent and cheaper way until we find some more Scions of the Storm. So we're going to wind up picking up one of these and locking onto the other, I have to imagine. It is going to be a little bit awkward because we don't really have the coin to do so, and I don't want to use all of my coin next turn picking up Scion of the Storm, but I think I can do so. I think I can sell 3 things off here. It's just going to mean that I'm going to have to get rid of Wizard's Familiar, which Stings a little bit to sell off a Wizard's Familiar that you've scaled up, but I think it's the right call considering that the Scions are just bigger and we can grab a tier 6 treasure next turn. However, we see a pretty large copycat build with Court Wizard here. Only one Court Wizard, but one Court Wizard with all of those good boys is still quite annoying. It makes some really large units that we just can't quite take down. So we're going to wind up losing that one and giving my opponent some extra gold with the Krampus' Sleigh. But we get the 9th Book of Merlin. So this is definitely going to be a game. Now all of my characters are going to cast a spell when they die. And yeah, we're feeling pretty good about this again all of the sudden. Up against the Ghost here, we get to cast some more spells, and then we see another Scion of the Storm. So I roll the die, then sell the unit to pick up the Scion. And one of the main reasons that I do this is because now if I find another Croc, we'll be able to triple those, and then I'll be down a unit. So I do need another unit to put in on this board. So wind up spending 6 gold. I think that that's potentially a mistake because of how much gold I spend just picking up Scions this game. But we have so many Scions. We've got 2 upgraded Scions, 1 inside of the pumpkin, 1 outside, and then 2 unupgraded Scions. That is quite the board. And definitely really powerful. We will have to scale these in order to compete with the Good Boy comp, or potentially even with Tough Luck, if they are able to get off the ground as well. It looks like they did lose, but they're still in it. So we are going to battle up against Tough Luck here, first of all. And let's see if we can either find another Scion or ideally another Croc this turn, and potentially find another treasure that could make us quite powerful. We'll also take a Baba Yaga eventually, though we don't need to do so with any particular haste. And looks like we are all done, unfortunately, for the turn. So let's jump ahead into the combat here against Tough Luck and see how much they have scaled with the Potion Master's Cookbook. They've actually swapped it out now for a Monkey's Paw, which goes a little bit better with their summon stuff, though summons isn't really going to be it. They definitely have some other fun stuff going on, but summons just isn't going to cut it in this lobby. Maybe in a normal lobby, but this is, like I said, basically a 99 lobby. And they had the Cat's Call too, but unfortunately the Cats came a little bit too late, and we are able to take them down. So we're on to the finals. Us versus this insane Pied Piper comp with all of the good boys. And I've told you guys that Pied Piper is definitely a 99 viable comp. We're seeing it here, not a 99, but still pretty similar thing. We're going to wind up picking up a Mimic Chest. Speaking of Storybook Brawl 99 and high rolling comps, we put together a really good showing here. Mimic Chest 9th book now means that all of our units cast 2 spells when they die. Well, not all of our units, not the Crocs, but the units inside of them. And then we have 3 upgraded Storm Kings. So it's really just going to come down to how much has this Pied Piper skilled their good boys, how many other good boys have they picked up, and to find out what we're getting ourselves into. And they've got 2 upgraded good boys, one that is absolutely massive, as well as the spear here. And you can see my opponent is also making use of the arc, and that they have also made use of Embiggening Stone. So they have some really insanely large units. Court Wizard and Robin Wood up to 800 in the back. We're going to get some scams on, but it's not going to be enough. We're going to take 9 down to 14. And yeah, we're going to have to find some more stuff to potentially get out of here. I think that at this point, I don't want to worry about Scions of the Storm. I just want to cast as many spells as we possibly can and try to get stronger in that way. We are going to be presented with a bunch of different options to like Mix-a-Whizzle and True Love's Kiss, and that's tough because all of these units are like already ideally what I want. I should potentially just be using this on the Baba Yaga that is in my hand, but I throw it off on the Aeon in the front row and grab ourselves another Storm King, which is just absolutely fantastic and super, super powerful. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough coin to Evil Twin my Scion of the Storm that was an Aeon, because that unit was good, so that would have been pretty silly, but I wind up also putting my Crocs first, so that way they can get pumped up by the Baba Yaga, and I'm thinking like maybe we can make weird things happen with their good boys, where we kind of deny them some good boy hits or some weird stuff like that, but the combat gets very, very close, and we are just barely not able to get into that back line there. We clear the front line, but my opponent is still so large that is making it really tough to get into this back line. And unfortunately, because we didn't play Aeon last turn, my spells aren't any cheaper. So I'm really just looking for more scams at this point. And I roll all the way down, looking for a way to find, what's it called? Like Pigomorphs or something like that. But unfortunately, I don't find that. I do find Croc Bait, which I'm going to use to potentially find a tier 6 treasure, and Pandora's Box could be really cool. I don't really need Radiant Prism this game, but we could potentially do something cool with a Pandora's Box, but we could also do something pretty cool with a Phoenix Feather, because it is going to be Phoenix Feather Mimic Chest, so that'll double summon one of our Scions of the Storm here. So we definitely have a shot with this one. We take out the Sherwood Shore Shop before any of these good boys die, and then we are going to make a bunch of Scions of the Storm off of this Mimic Chest. Is it going to be enough? That is the question. Here come the Scions. Opponent has one good boy, and it's actually really, really good that we leave their evil good boy last, because that's not getting the pumps from any of the other good boys. So we definitely have a shot here. This combat winds up being really, really close. We just have to get a few more scams. We get one more. Can we finish it off? We cannot. So unfortunately, we came really, really close in that one. My opponent with one unit left with 400 attack, which was a lot, but we had a bunch of 400 attack units ourselves, and honestly, that was about as good as the combat could have gone for us. My opponent found a whole bunch of good boys, but this was still a really fun game, a really excellent selection of treasures by the end game, and just a really powerful lobby. And sometimes that's going to happen. You're going to fall short a little bit because your opponents just put together really incredible things themselves. That's going to be it for me today. I think I said this earlier on in the video, but tomorrow's video is going to be a Wednesday video, so that's something to look forward to. And then after that, yes, I did bring this up. After that, we should start to see only stuff from the newest patch. Not a huge patch, but I'm sure I'll find some fun things to do on it nonetheless. That's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.
For my giveaway this week, leave a comment below that includes the word hero. New week, new code word. The reason that I say to include the word, that way I can differentiate between the people just leaving a comment and those that are actually interested in the dust, to make sure that it goes to a person that will appreciate it. And there's no limit to how many times you can enter. You can go back and comment on some of my previous videos. I've been uploading daily Storybook Brawl videos for the past 7 or 8 months at this point, so I'm sure there is some sweet content that you have yet to see. And yeah, you can enter multiple times. I will do a new code next week. And the other thing that I wanted to say is that if a bunch of people enter, I will give away more codes. So that's just going to be limited by how many people are entering and how many people are commenting. Let's get this channel to over 1,000. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.